welcome to this LEGO Indiana Jones set review of Escape from the Lost Tomb. This is set 77013. It has 600 pieces and is rated for ages 8+. Now, this is a really great set, and first we will be starting with the minifigures. The set has 4 minifigures, and the first of which is this mummy right here, which I think is a very good figure and is very detailed and has some very nice prints on it. The next figure is Sallah, and he doesn't have the best printing. He only really has torso printing and front face printing, so there is no second face or like leg printing or anything. It's a very basic print and stuff. Not the best, but still a pretty decent figure. The next figure is Marion Riverwood. She has, of course, dual molded legs and some torso and leg printing, which is nice to see. Unlike the first two, she has the black hair piece, which is also very nice. And she also, unlike the first two, has a second face, as you can see there. Next, we'll go on to Indiana himself, who has, of course, a bunch of accessories with the little, like, knapsack and the iconic whip. Now, this figure does have a brand new piece for this line, being the hat and hair piece, which is a very nice piece to have. That is a super cool piece. And there's, of course, leg printing and very nice torso printing. And he does have a second face, which is a very nice one. But yeah, this is a really great figure, and I'm super excited to have it. Now let's get on to the build. First, we'll start off with the details of the build, and then we'll go on to like play features and other stuff like that. But the first little thing is the altar with the Ark of the Covenant, which is very nice. I really wish this piece was in gold though, and maybe even this one. That kind of sucks and is annoying, but the fact that the rest of it is actually golden is pretty decent, but it just doesn't look great with this piece not being gold. It would have been nice to have this in like pearl gold or whatever. Let's move on to, of course, one of the most obvious and famous parts of this scene is all of the snakes and stuff. There are 9 total snakes in the set, counting the 2 little ones that poke out of the walls, which I think is a pretty nice touch. And of course, this little altar build is very nice, with some like candles and stuff on fire down here to kind of ward off the snakes, if you remember the scene. But let's go on to some of the most obvious parts, which is the big statues, of course, which are very nice, and I believe they are the exact same build. Whoopsie. And that is a very nice build, and I think it's pretty neat. Now let's move on to the wall, which there is quite a few stickers in this set, but I didn't find them to be too terribly annoying. And they add a lot of detail in the set that, well, you couldn't really get otherwise, and was definitely necessary for depicting the scene, like all of the like hieroglyphs and stuff. Which stuff like this and stuff like that, and whereas over here, this was actually in the movie and stuff, which is very nice to see depicted in the set. The little like Star Wars reference and stuff. And now there are 2 like sarcophaguses right there for the like mummies and stuff, which, as you saw earlier, we do get one in the set. And I think this whole front area is very nice. I wish some of these pieces could have been maybe more in gold, like this, and definitely the Ark of the Covenant thing, at least. That would have been nice. That's one of the main things that I don't like. One of the main gripes I have with this set is that this wasn't in gold. Now, let's move on to some of the details in the back. The back does look pretty ugly, but there is a bunch of play features and stuff back here, which we'll get to, and of course another snake right here. So, and then there's of course some sticker detail back there, which looks pretty good. And it was probably the only way that they could do something like that right behind this. Now, we'll start off with the play features back here, of course. You can put a person up here like the mummy. You pull that. I believe the mummy is supposed to go like right here. So you can kind of have them like jump scare people and stuff like that. It's a pretty nice little play feature, pretty basic, but it's definitely like fun to mess around with. Now over here, another fun play feature. You hit this and then the snake will go flying out, just like in the movie where they kind of come out of the walls. So you hit that and then the snake falls off and off your table, which can get lost pretty easily, but it's not too bad. As you saw back here, there is this little bumper that will prevent it from like scratching up the table, your table and stuff, when this play feature is being used. And how you use it is, of course, by hitting this little lever and knocking it over. It's really fun, and I messed around with it a lot while I was building it. And one of my favorite things to do so far with it is kind of like have the mummy walking around over here or something, just like that kind of. And then if you hit that, it knocks over the mummy and like hits him and he gets stuck, and it's pretty fun. There's a certain way, let me figure out how to do it here real quick, but you can like knock the mummy over. It's very fun and just a very entertaining thing to do. And yeah, so that's just a really fun little thing to do. So those are all of the play features. Like I said, that is quite a few play features for a little set like this. And yeah, let's get into the overview. Overall, this is a really good set. It comes with some great minifigures, except maybe that one could have used a little bit more printing and just a bit more detail, and it would have been a really good figure. But all the other figures, I have really nice printing and stuff, and I really like that about the set. It also comes with quite a number of the little snakes, which is nice, because it does depict the scene fairly accurately. There is a lot more snakes in the scene. I wish there might have been one or two more to fill in some gaps like on the sides, which would have been nice. Just like maybe one or two could place over here or something, and then maybe another one over here, because this guy is up there and just like flies out of the wall. So maybe one or two more snakes would have been nice. And there are some really great play features and details along like the walls and stuff. But one other main gripe I have about this set is that there's just not enough gold pieces. I wish there was some more pearl gold, at least for the Ark of the Covenant. If that was just a gold 2x4, that would have been really good. And they have made them in the past, so I don't see why they couldn't have made them also for this set. It would have been just really nice to complete the gold look of the Ark of the Covenant. And this play feature is a little bit ugly, but I really don't mind it. It doesn't look terrible. It does stick out a bit, and it's really easy to knock that over. So this wasn't really necessary, but I don't really mind it all that much. The back is pretty ugly, though. Like, this doesn't really bother me as much. Besides, the only thing that kind of bothers me about... The only reason the back kind of bothers me about being ugly is because there is a scene and it's kind of meant to be played with back here, as you can tell by this play feature. And I don't think that's as much of a big deal, because probably most people aren't going to really mess around with this much, and most older LEGO fans will probably have it displayed kind of like this with some figures standing up, maybe have that partially knocked over and just snakes all around. But yeah, overall it is a really great set. There are a couple things that I have mentioned, like not enough gold and maybe some better printing on him. That would have been nice. It just feels a little bit lacking compared to the other figures in the set with the really nice all like leg and body printing and stuff. But those are the only few gripes I have about the set. There's a lot of stickers, but I don't mind them as much because they really add a lot of detail and depth to the set itself. So yeah, overall it is a really great set, and I would definitely recommend picking it up. It is a nice collection to have, especially if you're an Indiana Jones fan and really enjoyed this theme. So yeah, have a good one. Bye.